Well, if you ever seen Br'er rabbit, or I guess any other rabbit for that matter, all they got to ride on their backside is a little bitty piece of cotton that they call a tail. And it is a pitiful sight. But now it ain't always been that way. You see, long time ago, Br'er rabbit had him a big old bushy tail. It was beautiful. He spent all day with his comb just dialing that thing up. He was so proud of it. And then one winter, there came a cold snap. Man, nobody had ever seen it get this cold. It froze over. Even the Coldwater River down the Savage froze completely over. Br'er rabbit hadn't had any food in a couple of days, and he was getting mighty hungry when he saw Mr. Fox with a big old mess of catfish. Now, usually Br'er rabbit ain't much on eating catfish. See, he's a vegetarian. But he'd gotten so hungry, he'd eat pert near anything. So he went over to Mr. Fox and said, "Good evening this evening, Mr. Fox. How are you this evening?" Mr. Fox said, "Br'er rabbit, you ain't getting none of these fish, so don't even try." And Br'er rabbit, he knew that he wasn't going to get none of the fish, but he could trick Mr. Fox into telling him where he got them so he'd get some of his own. So he said, Mr. Fox, I wouldn't ask you for any of those fish. I was just wondering where you might have got them, so I'd get me some. Now, Br'er rabbit done pulled lots of pranks on Mr. Fox. He was always stealing Mr. Fox's lunch, especially them sweet potato pies he loved so much. Mr. Fox decided he was going to pull one over on Br'er rabbit. So he told Br'er rabbit, "You see how I went down to the Coldwater River Savage? I got me a stick, I jogged me a hole in that ice, I stuck my tail down in there, and I waited. Wasn't no time at all. Fish done bit. I pulled that catfish out. I'd still be there, so Miss Fox is waiting on me for dinner." Well, Br'er rabbit didn't even say a thank you. He just took off. He went down there and jogged him a hole in that ice, put his tail down in there, and he sat and he waited. And he waited, and he waited, and he waited, and he waited some more, and he kept waiting, but nothing bit. And then he figured out Mr. Fox done pulled one over on him. So he decided to get up, only he couldn't. Some done took hold of his tail. He looked back there, he couldn't see anything. He felt back, there was nothing. He thought maybe a ghost done got a hold of his tail. And then he looked down, and it wasn't a ghost, it wasn't another animal, it wasn't a person. The ice done froze over and took hold of his tail, and it wouldn't let go. And he pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled, and nothing would happen. And then he heard something up on the bluff. It was a man-eater. And he knew if he didn't get out of there quick, man-eater was going to take a mess of Br'er rabbit home for dinner. So Br'er rabbit moved his hind legs back next to that tail, and he counted to 3. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. And he pulled and pulled and pulled it. And finally he came loose. But you see, the ice didn't let go of his tail. His tail let go of his backside. There was nothing left there anymore except for a little bloody nub. But he didn't have time to mourn because he could see man-eater walking down the bluff. Lickety-split, he headed back home. He got just about home and he came right next to the cotton field and he picked him a little piece of cotton and he dabbed it on that little nub. And that's why to this day, Br'er rabbit has got that little piece of cotton riding on his backside. And that's the story of how Br'er rabbit lost his tail.